Hey, welcome back, survivors, to another edition of Surviving the Badge here at the Surviving the Badge bar, where two cops talking cop shit. So
he's already playing with his buttons.
I am.
Even before we started recording, he's playing with the buttons.
Yeah, well, you know, it's my job. I am the tech guy, so it's my job. He's the brains. I'm the tech guy. Anyway, so what do you got, man?
All right, well, I want you to watch this video, LT, and then we'll talk about it.
I didn't see anything. You said you call us because you said to dispatch you saw two people arguing. Okay, let's get to that first, and then we go to the second part.
Yeah, so that was happening over.
Oh.
Yeah, right?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
First thing that comes to mind is, oh, shit, right?
Yeah.
All right, so before we get into the story, let's go ahead and talk about our fallen officers.
Please.
As of February 20th, 2026, we are at 12, and I was doing some research, and it's gotten a little weird since the beginning of the year. There was a lot of firearms, but we have a officer who got hit by a train. We have an officer who was in a motorcycle accident, and we have an officer who was in a plane crash. So,
wow.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
It's still a lot of gunfire, but it's like always, like every year, it's gunfire and vehicle, some type of vehicle related.
Wow.
So, yeah. And so here is to our fallen brothers and sisters.
Salute. So this video that we're talking about and that we watched, everybody watched, man, there was like some red flags out the ass on this. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about the background and what was going on.
Apparently what happened was this guy, he calls a 911. He places a fake phone call, fake 911 call, to get about a disturbance on the platform there. Law enforcement shows up, and two officers are talking to him, and they're asking him, so you called in a domestic or a disturbance?
Right. Well, I mean, they saw.
Yeah.
You know, they saw what he was saying and all.
And all of a sudden, he pulls out a knife from his jacket and starts attacking the officer.
Right.
And
I mean, he took, if you go back and watch that, guys, you know, kind of slow it down and watch it. I mean, he was taking stab over.
Yeah, and that's a big ass knife too.
Yeah,
that's a pocket knife. That's like a hunting knife.
You know what I forgot to do, man?
What's that?
We're not even live.
What? Oh,
we're not live.
Well, we got to be live, bro. There we go. Oh, that feels better.
The tech guy, man. Come on,
this guy.
God, had everything set up except for the live button. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway,
that's all right.
Yeah, it was a big ass knife.
Yes.
Huge.
And he just lunges at the officer, and the officer's trying to get away, make distance, and this is a great training video for the reactionary gap.
Yes.
So
big
you
time.
probably saw the same video I saw when I was in the academy back in the 80s of the 21-foot rule.
Yeah.
Remember that grainy photo where the guy they have these officers, and I'll put it in here. They have this officer come in and investigating a suspicious person, and he pulls a knife and runs at the officer.
Here, officers have been told to investigate suspicious circumstances at night in a warehouse and react to what they find. At first glance, this officer's distance from the suspect looks safe enough. But an attacker can easily cover this distance faster than most officers can draw their guns. Remember, when you close the distance between yourself and the suspect, do so only by purposeful decision.
And the officers do not have any time to pull their firearm. They have to make distance, use hand-on techniques, and it has been proven, if you ever watch all of this video, it's been proven that 21 feet is the safe distance.
With a reactionary gap of about 1 foot or less, it's impossible for you to react quickly enough to even touch your holstered sidearm once the attack begins. At about 5 feet, the average officer can't even get his sidearm unholstered. Unless your sidearm or baton is already out, you'll have to rely on physical control at 5 feet or less. At about 10 feet, you might get your sidearm out, but you probably won't get a shot off. A suspect with a knife can close 7 paces and deliver deadly force in less than 1 1/2 seconds. For the average officer to deliver 2 rounds against an attacker who starts moving at 10 feet, the sidearm must already be drawn and ready to shoot. At about 15 feet, your chances get a little better if you're alert, anticipate danger, and are skilled with your equipment. But to deliver 2 rounds center of mass, your hand would already have to be on your sidearm when the attack begins. Tests with hundreds of officers reveal that in most cases, a minimum reactionary gap of 21 feet is required to react and deliver at least 2 rounds and to have enough time to move out of the attacker's path.
It's rare that you can draw your firearm.
General safe distance. I mean, if the guy's freaking lightning fast, I mean, it's
study after study.
Right,
That's about the area.
Absolutely.
The problem is you can't stand 21 feet from somebody who you are taking a call from.
Interviewing, whatever.
Hey, get on your phone and talk to me about this.
Hey. Yeah, I mean, it's not practical.
Right.
However, there's so many other things, man, that they could have done.
Right.
Get your hands out of your pockets.
Get your hands out of your pocket.
His hands are in his pockets the whole freaking time, except for the one time he pointed and then went back in and got the knife.
And if you notice in the video, you can see the outline of the knife in the pocket.
You call us because you said to dispatch you saw 2 people arguing. Okay, let's get to that first, and then we go to the second part.
See, I watched it on my phone before the show.
Yeah.
And I watched it on here too. But of course, I'm messing around with tech stuff in here, so I'm not watching super close. But I didn't notice that.
You could see the profile of the knife.
Oh, wow.
In the guy's pocket. And
what do they call that? Printing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And hate to be the Monday morning quarterback, but this is a good lesson for people who are watching and new officers that maybe a reminder, oh yeah, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be standing so close. Maybe I should do a pat down. But I mean, how often are you patting down a reporting person or a victim?
Right.
They went to this scene as a witness.
Thinking they're going to go talk to a witness victim.
Right.
Yeah.
We have one of our competitions. It's criminal response. And our students are showing up and they're talking to a victim and they're talking to them like they're a suspect. And I said, hold on, different hats. You got to put different hats on. You still have to have officer safety,
right?
And distance and the interview stance and your hands up, so you can block. But they came here thinking that they were dealing with a witness of a crime,
right?
And I don't know about you, but it's very, very seldom did I pat down a victim or a witness. If they were getting in my car, absolutely.
Oh yeah, always. Yeah.
But if you're,
I made the ladies put their purses up in the front seat,
right,
while they rode in the back.
Yeah.
If I couldn't pat them down, but I had them just, okay, can you just pull your shirt up? Turn around, blah blah blah. They're in a cage. I'm not worried about a knife in the cage.
Yeah.
But it was the gun thing. And then okay, I'm not going to go through your purse and everything, but it's sitting up front with me.
Yes.
Oh, well, no, I need my purse. Okay, well, then you're going to open it and I'm going to have to search it. You.
Right. And I'm just trying to get you a ride off this interstate.
Right. Absolutely.
But I'm going home tonight.
But here's one good thing they did do on this call that we're talking about here is they had contact and cover.
Yes.
They had the one that was the initial contact. He was, the contact officer. He's making all the, the suggestions and the questions. And then the other guy was bladed off to his side. And probably saved his life.
Absolutely.
By firing when he did fire and all that, because, I mean, you can see the blood all over the ground and everything. I mean, this guy took one hell of a stab.
Yeah, he took a slash to the face and 3 stabs to the back. Good thing he had his vest.
Yeah.
Because that definitely slowed it down.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, you've got his backup officer taking it to the guy.
Yeah.
I think he shot him 3 or 4 times.
That was happening over.
Yeah.
He survived, but I mean, it was a good response. But the old adage is you can never respond faster than the action.
Nope.
No way in hell can you respond faster than an action.
There's no reaction that is fast as action.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not. That's why they call it a reaction.
Yeah, and
know?
you guys look for this reactionary gap and always have situational awareness. When you're on the job, and I know you were like this too. When you're on the job, you're always in yellow. Okay.
Always.
When you're driving, let's say you gotta take a pee stop at the 7-Eleven or get a Slurpee or something. You drive around the building, and then I always parked where my car was between me and the door.
Yep.
So in case it just happened, what's the chances that I'm running into a robbery? But
happened to my brother.
yeah, okay.
He almost died.
Right. Yeah.
He almost died.
Yeah. So it does happen, and you just have to take those extra steps that people outside the job wouldn't even notice you're doing.
Correct.
But these are important things that you have to do. You have to keep that distance. You have to have that interview stance. Again, with my students, they're standing there and they're crossing their feet, and I'm like, okay, let's get into a proper interview stance. Keep our hands up.
Hands up.
Firearm away from the suspect. All the proper things. And we just have to make sure that we're always in yellow, even when we're dealing with victims or witnesses.
And what's funny is, everybody says, "Oh, why are you standing like you're ready to fight? Why y'all always so uptight? Why?" Right here is why. This is why we're so freaking uptight. This is why our hands are up here when we're talking. Well, you can't see my hands. I'm sorry. But they're right in front of my chest, and I'm doing this all the time, and I'm just doing this because my hands are ready to do this if I need to.
I could push somebody off quicker than I can go to my firearm.
Absolutely. And after you hit them in the chest and push them off, now you're drawing your firearm and creating distance.
You're creating that reaction.
And everybody's like, once a cop, you're always a cop. Yeah. Sit in a restaurant. My back's against the wall, not against the freaking front windows or the door. I mean, it's just it's ingrained in you.
When you go to a restaurant with your wife, does she know where you're?
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah, mine does too.
Always. I know you're gonna sit there. I'll sit here.
Yeah, exactly.
And usually because the game's on too.
Right.
We're not out to a nice dinner, but I mean,
when we were in,
it's hard to turn it off, man.
It is. You could turn it down.
Yes,
but it's hard to turn it off.
Yeah, sure.
When we were in Seattle, and we both were sitting our backs to the wall, and our wives did not see the guy walking by with open carry.
Yeah, open carry.
And we're like, we look at each other and we give it our.
Yeah. And they're like, what? I said, the guy just walked by with a freaking gun strapped on his side, not covered at all. And they're like, really? Where? And I'm like, he's gone now. But
yeah, they finally.
So we got on the internet and looked it up. Do they have an open carry?
Yeah. Open carry. It was like.
Because if they didn't, we were fixing to call 911 and say, hey, there's some freaking dude walking around out here with a 9mm strapped on his side.
The hell out of us that
they really did.
It
looked like the old West.
Yeah, right.
Especially as liberal as Washington State is. I cannot believe that they had open carry.
And finally, just this year, Florida.
And it was in Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle.
That's what's crazy, bro.
It's Seattle. Yeah. I get the feeling that this guy who tried to stab this officer has mental illness. Apparently, according to some reports, there was some beef with other law enforcement or whatever, but I'm guessing definitely some mental illness issues with this.
Yeah, he seemed, when he was talking to them, but you know what? And I agree with that. It was almost like it was very calculating though.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was trying to get them their attention over here, and he kept pointing over there. Oh no, well, it's over here, and then he's like still kind of looking that way. He reaches in. I mean, it's
definitely planned. It was definitely planned.
Yeah.
But to do that, I mean, that's
Well,
just
yeah, there's got to be something wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Deep down inside, absolutely.
all right. Hey, if you see any videos out there that you want us to talk about like this and talk about, some safety issues and things like that, let us know. Write down in the comments. And, while you're doing that, make sure you like and subscribe.
Yeah, because we are responding. We do respond. We look up the information. We will do a show if it's something in our niche.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, all the comments are appreciated. They really are.
All right. And always remember, at Surviving the Bad,
We still got you 6.
Cheers. Y'all be safe out there.